Most Incredible Military Moments showcases some truly jaw-dropping and impressive moments from military forces worldwide. These clips showcase the intense realities and unexpected incidents faced by armed forces around the world. See how these Coast Guards caught drug smugglers in the ocean. Watch the intense moment when a pilot must eject from his failing jet to save his own life. Hold your breath as a grenade training exercise almost ends in disaster. So join us to watch the incredible moments of the military. Let's start the video. Crash of T-80 tank. In a surprising turn of events near Yuzhno-Sakhalinsk, a T-80 tank crashed after a Khmer truck driver lost control while turning. The truck's trailer was carrying the heavy tank, and due to broken brackets, the cargo shifted and fell, taking the tank down with it. Thankfully, the scene, filled with police and military personnel, remained under control with no reported injuries or serious damage. The Eastern Military District confirmed the incident was handled efficiently and no damage occurred. A few hours later, a crane was brought in, skillfully flipping the tank back onto its tracks. Everyone involved handled the situation with professionalism, ensuring a quick resolution and safety for all. Pilot's miraculous escape. Watch how a military pilot bravely attempts to save a faulty aircraft in an emergency landing. Despite the pilot's best efforts to control the descent, the plane smashed into the ground with such power that the nose snapped off and debris scattered everywhere. In a stunning change of events, just as flames filled the cockpit, the pilot was able to safely exit thanks to the ejection seat working correctly. This terrible circumstance looks to be the result of a severe system failure on board the aircraft. F-15 gear failure. What happens when a fighter jet loses a landing gear leg during a touchdown? Recently, an American F-15 faced just that. As it landed, one gear leg snapped off, causing the jet to tilt and skid dangerously on the runway. Imagine the scene, the wing grating against the asphalt, sparks flying as the aircraft veered left and ended up on the grass. How did the pilot manage to regain control and safely stop the jet despite such a critical situation? Mexican helicopter. A Mexican Navy helicopter had to make an emergency landing because of technical problems. It was on its way to help with the effects of Hurricane Grace when this happened in Agua Blanca, a town in Hidalgo state. There were 3 people injured during this incident, and they had to be rushed to the hospital by ambulance. Even more, Eric Cisneros, the Secretary of State of Veracruz, was on board and got slightly hurt. Thankfully, the pilot managed to land safely despite the challenges. How to throw grenade. On How to Throw a Grenade Day at a military training center in Hebei Province, China, excitement turned to high-stakes drama with a recruit named Li at the center. He had never thrown anything in his life. Li faced his first test with a live grenade. His instructor, identified by the green pennies as number 47, confidently demonstrated the technique, pulling the pin and tossing the grenade effortlessly. With the same fluid motion, he passed the live grenade to Li, advising him to throw it and get down. Tension rose as Li, wearing his military uniform, stepped up to the line. He tried to throw with a big swing, but the grenade slipped out of his hand and landed just a few centimeters away. Instantly recognizing the danger, Instructor 47 sprang into action, pulling Li to the safety of the sandbags. Just moments after they took cover, the grenade erupted with a deafening boom. Thanks to 47's swift response, both men emerged unscathed, their hearts racing from the narrow escape. Tank swerve. In early 2015, during the conflict in Ukraine, a tank incident occurred on a rural road. 8 Ukrainian soldiers were riding on top of the tank, perhaps imitating a scene from the movie Fury. As they drove, they came across civilian vehicles. One car sensibly stopped to allow the tank to pass, while another failed to move out of the path in time, forcing the tank to swerve hard to escape it. The tank slipped off the road and into a ditch. The men on the tank got frustrated and began shouting, but it was impossible to make out what they were saying. tensions grew among them as one soldier appeared to swing his rifle in disgust. This incident emphasizes the value of military vehicles during conflict to avoid such accidents. Fortunately, there appeared to be no significant injuries. Tank Showdown. Imagine the Olympics, except instead of races and relays, tanks and warriors demonstrate their abilities. Since 2015, Russia has hosted the International Army Games, a one-of-a-kind event in which troops from primarily pro-Russian countries compete in a variety of military challenges. The tank biathlon is one of the attractions, and it is every bit as spectacular as it seems. In one unforgettable moment, a tank tried a daring move, rushing around a bend and drifting like a scene from an action film. When the tank attempted a maneuver, its sudden agility caused it to flip and land on its side. This can happen due to the tank's weight distribution, speed, and the terrain's unevenness, leading to a loss of balance and momentum. Tanks, like large animals, can drive at speeds of up to 45 miles per hour, with some exceeding 70 miles per hour in short bursts. It serves as a reminder that tanks are not only powerful, but also extremely quick and flexible. Iron Bowl Flyover. In November 2017, during a football game known as the Iron Bowl, 4 F-16 Fighting Falcons from the 100th Fighter Squadron flew overhead. They timed their flight perfectly so that they passed over the stadium just as the national anthem finished playing. This added an exciting and patriotic touch to the event. The pilots maintained continual communication with a ground coordinator. Positioned nearby, they were ready to take to the skies at just the right moment. When they received the go-ahead, they soared into formation and flew over the stadium, arriving overhead exactly as the anthem concluded. The crowd watched as the Air Force pulled off a perfectly synchronized and truly impressive display of precision and teamwork. Torpedoes. On July 22, 2016, the US Navy did a practice run where they sunk an old ship in the Pacific Ocean. They used a high-tech submarine with fancy sensors and cameras to do it. During the test, the submarine launched a torpedo at the ship, causing substantial damage and effectively rocking it into the ocean. A helicopter captured video of the resulting big hole in the ship's hull. Sinking ancient ships is a cost-effective and environmentally friendly way of disposing of them. When properly cleaned of dangerous chemicals, these wrecked ships transform into artificial reefs that benefit marine life by encouraging algae growth and providing a habitat for fish. Narco sub seized. On June 18, 2019, the US Coast Guard stopped a semi-submersible in the Pacific Ocean that they thought was used for smuggling drugs. The vessel did not respond to commands to stop, so a Coast Guard member bravely jumped onto the moving, semi-submerged vessel and opened its hatch. Inside, they found 17,000 pounds of cocaine and arrested 5 people. This situation highlights a growing pattern where drug trafficking organizations are turning to advanced technology and methods to transport illegal substances. Specifically, narco submarines are being increasingly utilized because they are hard to spot in open waters. During May to July 2019, the Coast Guard intercepted 14 such subs. These occurrences underscore the ongoing and dynamic challenges faced in combating maritime drug trafficking. Drug cartels continue to devise new strategies to evade detection, and the Coast Guard is tirelessly adapting and responding to curb these unlawful activities. The rise and fall of the atomic cannon. Imagine a cannon with the incredible power to unleash nuclear warheads. In the 1950s, at a period of intensive military innovation, the United States produced the N-65 atomic cannon, which revolutionized battlefield weapons. On May 25, 1953, in the Nevada desert, this massive cannon was put to the test. It fired a 280mm nuclear warhead that went 7 miles before detonating, making it the first and only occasion a nuclear projectile was launched from a cannon. This cannon was one of only 20 built, each costing around $800,000. Deployed to strategic locations in Europe and South Korea, these cannons were a Cold War deterrent, constantly relocated to escape enemy eyes. But as quickly as they appeared on the scene, advancements in military technology rendered them obsolete. Their range was too limited compared to new atomic weapons emerging at the time. Today, only 7 of these behemoths survive, all silent and decommissioned, but standing as enormous relics. If you found value in this video and desired further engaging content, then subscribe to the channel. Your support fuels our efforts to deliver enriching experiences. Thank you for watching this video, and we eagerly anticipate your return for future updates.